as a pioneer in personalized medicine, you got this stuff going on. Like, where do you see the field going in 5, 10 years? What do you see it, becoming? I'm sure you got to have a positive, optimistic outlook on it, right? It's not going to continue down this rabbit hole of more drugs that are just based off simple genomic testing.
Yeah. So, I mean, when we talk about, drug target identification, for instance, we can do that rapidly on a scale previously unseen. And this is the 5 or 10 year picture.
Mm-hmm.
Theriome will have the largest wealth of patient biological data. And that can be good or bad, right? If you've seen Westworld, maybe you've seen what it can be in the hands of.
Oh yeah,
data is power, and putting it in nefarious entities is dangerous, and that's why Theriome we're committed to never engaging in data brokering with outside entities. What we can do in 5 or 10 years, which is the beneficence of Theriome, is to not only be able to, have this very advanced one-stop shop, we want to be the first line of testing for physicians and patients and customers. Not only that, but we want to start influencing how research is conducted. When we start creating this deep molecular profiling database that has the genome, proteome, transcriptome, microbiome data, and metabolome data on 30,000 people, let's say, suddenly we're able to look at the human metabolism with the greatest eagle eye perspective that we've ever been able to. And no study has had this sort of resource at its disposal. So being able to take a look at such a wide angle look at what's going on, a bird's eye view, will be very capable of directing research. We would like to, entities that are major funders of research in the United States, for instance, the NIH is the greatest funder of research in the United States, or the Robert Woods Foundation. Gates Millennium Foundation. These are all great contributors. And so we can take our data and say, according to what we're seeing, investigations of diabetes, when you're looking for diabetes cure or treatment, these are the pathways, these are the metabolites, these are the proteins, the genes that are responsible, according to everything that has been reported and collected by us. Everything that's been reported to us and collected by us indicates these things. And of course, when we find associations, those associations have to be confirmed with basic science. But Theriome will, with the wealth of data we provide this human atlas of everything going on from a very large population to which our inferences can be generalized from. In addition to that, I see Theriome as, this. So some people, have this very hot beliefs about climate change, and they can debate the science idiosyncratically or whatever. But there are a network of satellites that are flying around Earth that have been taking pictures of Earth over years. And it's very hard to refute climate change when you see from that perspective what has happened to oceans, rivers, lakes, the melting of ice caps. It's hard to defend against observational, very immediate data. And so we have this, for instance, this train derailment that happened in East Palestine. And you have this environmental contamination going on. And they clean it up, supposedly. And then they send legislators over to these people's homes in East Palestine. And, Pete Buttigieg will have a glass of water from the sink and he'll say, see, I drank it, you're fine. But I drank it, I'm going to go to my very exclusive Washington, D.C. reservation tonight, is very different than you stay here, live here, and drink it for another 20 years. So in these sorts of environmental catastrophes, if we are an entity that has been regularly testing in that community, and customers have been engaging our services and sending in samples, what we can do is say, here is the genomic, proteomic, metabolomic, et cetera, profiles of these individuals in this community before the train accident. And here is the metabolomic profiles 1 year, 5 year, 10, 20 years down the line. As you can see, there has been a biological sequelae of consequences that have proceeded immediately after this point in time. And so we can provide an unbiased, impartial, and scientifically informed bird's eye view of so many health cases. And these are just a couple of things that I've been sort of thinking of. And I'm sure as we develop it and as we go forward, more use cases will become apparent to us. But really, nothing like this has ever existed. A wealth of data and knowledge like this has never existed. So the possibilities to us are not going to be immediately apparent, but we're working on it.
Yeah. A nice singular snapshot is a good thing. A number of them, flipped together like a scrapbook showing a pattern ensuing is much more important. And that's where I think a lot of people get it wrong in medicine. They take one snapshot, they may take another and say, okay, it did this. It's about the patterns, and healing and disease take time. Both of them have to be looked at over a longer period of time. It isn't, a short-term sort of fix that we're going to turn things around. It's got to be a long-term approach. So I really appreciate that.